President Trump agreed to declassify the Republican memo over the objections of both the Justice Department and the FBI. Trump said in a tweet that allegations in the memo showed that top law enforcement officials politicized the Russia probe. He later spoke to reporters at the White House.
But I think it's a disgrace what's happening in our country. And when you look at that and you see that and so many other things, what's going on, a lot of people should be ashamed of themselves, and much worse than that.
The Republican memo alleges that the decision to put Trump campaign associate Carter Page under surveillance was largely based on information gathered by a source funded by Democrats. For their part, Democrats condemned the release of the memo and said Republicans had selected certain facts in a bid to help the president and undermine the Russia probe led by special counsel Robert Mueller.
The point was to selectively declassify information so that it would support a narrative favorable to the president.
Throughout his presidency, Trump has complained the Russia probe is a witch hunt, and the president and his Republican allies in Congress were eager to see the memo released, says analyst John Hudak.
Republicans are absolutely trying to undermine the Mueller investigation. They see this as not only a serious threat to the president, but they see this as a serious threat to the Republican brand, as the president and the Republican brand are intertwined.
Democrats also warned Trump not to use the memo as grounds to fire Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who is overseeing the Mueller probe, or perhaps even Mueller himself. That could set off a constitutional crisis, says Thomas Schwartz.
As much as I think he may not like Mueller and not like Mueller's efforts to investigate him, I think firing him now would be a real problem.
But conservative analysts like Michael Barone say Democrats may be overplaying their hand.
I think that there's obviously some people, most of them in the Democratic Party, that think, this is going to be another Watergate. They're going to get the smoking gun. President Trump will be out of there, out of the White House in 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever. In my judgment, that's unlikely to happen.
Some Democrats have compared the Russia probe involving Trump to the Watergate scandal that engulfed President Richard Nixon in the 1970s. Nixon ordered the firing of the special prosecutor investigating his White House in 1973, but he resigned the following year after Congress began impeachment proceedings. Jim Malone, VOA News, Washington.